Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. It is week 4 of the SPL, final day of the SPL, in fact. Gandhi joined by F. We have Fnatic versus Upcoming Stars as our first matchup here as we visit Europe.
Yeah, Fnatic versus Upcoming Stars. The first two teams that we're going to take a look at, just Europe, and then after that we'll follow with North America, Team Solo Mid versus Cognitive Gaming. So we're going to start off with Europe, and as you said, Fnatic on a tear.
Yeah, Fnatic looks very, very good, which is expected. But before we get into that, we want to know how you SPL. So tweet at us at Smite Pro using the hashtag HowYouSPL, or actually just SPL. I use HowYouSPL. That's how I did it yesterday. My selfie went through. Girlfriend recorded me just sitting there on a Saturday, just kind of watching it. So it's whatever. No privacy anymore with the internet.
Yeah, none at all. Especially with the new Periscope app, you let you live stream from your Twitter.
Dude, the worst is the live video from Twitter now. Yeah, that's the worst.
Me out.
There's nothing we can do about it. But anyways, more importantly, let's take a look at the European standings here and see how everything's shaking up as we are getting ready to go into the final week next week. As you can see, Trig Esports 3-1, Fnatic 2-1, London Conspiracy. Their hopes are still on the line here with a huge win yesterday. Titan 2-2, Team Dig 2-2, Upcoming Stars. They've yet to receive a win yet. They haven't won a single individual game. But they're looking to change that here in this week 4.
Yeah, so Upcoming Stars right now, they're really, for all intents and purposes, they're out of the running for the land. So right now what they're doing is they're playing Dream Crusher, Scott. They're here saying, look, you know, we've got absolutely nothing to lose. If you're gonna see a game with something weird, with roster switches, with odd gods, it's gonna be here because they have nothing to lose. All they want to do is, well, they want to prevent other people from being happy.
Yep, trying to take Fnatic by surprise here. Speaking of Fnatic, let's go ahead and take a look at their team profile here. Fnatic, you guys know these guys as SK from the Smite World Championship. They're looking very good coming into this early split. Badger, Captain Twig, and you know, really who I focus on is Reels throughout the majority of the time. Reels, especially in this meta where Hunters are very, very dominant, Reels is just loving it.
Yeah, and Reels is on top of the categories for a lot of these Hunters. He's got the highest KDA per game for Hunters, the highest kills per game for Hunters, just really killing it in every category possible. Maybe not wards placed, but every other category possible.
You don't place wards if you're a Hunter, bro.
You know, he's just been killing it.
Well, let's take a look at their opponents today. Upcoming Stars here. They have a little bit of an interesting lineup today as Sausage is still, he's pretty much the star who we harp on every single time, but most importantly today, Cherryo will actually find himself in the jungle for this team as they actually have to play with some substitutes. Yeah,
they're going to grab Q in the support role, which this is an interesting story. Now give me a second here. So Upcoming Stars might sound familiar because there was a Challenger Cup name, their Challenger Cup team of the same name last year. It was Qin's team. This team is not Qin's team. It was named after him, not really as a jab, because he's on the team. But now Qin is going to be playing support, so we've come full circle, Scott. The team was named after his team, and now it's his team again. So we're back full circle. It's the original Upcoming Stars playing with a couple of subs.
Well, hopefully it pretty much gives them a boost.
Yeah.
We need to see Upcoming Stars get some kind of a boost. But, guys, by the way, as you all know, we give stuff away now, as you can see. But the bigger part here is there is double gems and everything this weekend for first wins of the day. It actually works on the Xbox, too. So if you're playing on the Xbox One, you can get those. Hey. Hey,
I was waiting for it.
Hey, I gotta let them know. I gotta let them know. But on top of that, at the stream here, you guys, if you haven't been tuning in with us, make sure you tweet this out to all your friends. You can win awesome stuff throughout the entire broadcast here.
Dude, I want that flag.
Which one?
The one on the right.
Far right?
Yeah. Titan has fallen. I would hang that in my apartment. It would look great over my empty.
I actually like the green one. I like the triple kill.
The triple kill?
Triple kill is just simple, green, probably one of my favorite colors.
I like Shimtars. It looks like a big Aladdin sword, and that's why I like it. So we're going to get into picks and bans. The P's and B's, if you wheeze.
God. It's too early for this. It's Sunday. I get it. I look like I'm going to a T-ball game, but relax.
They don't see the khaki shorts. Upcoming Stars on the top in red, Fnatic in blue on the bottom. We'll be taking a look at their picks and bans, Scott. So do you have any idea, as we see the Sylvanas banned out by the blue side, do you have any idea where Upcoming Stars wants to pick?
I don't, actually. I don't think we've really figured out anything besides the fact that Poseidon is their god who has the only positive KDA so far within 3 weeks of SPL.
That's exactly it. There really is no god. On a lot of these teams, you can sort of see a god, you know, Thorgars comes to mind, and, you know, etc. There really is no stick out. Besides, I guess, Sausage is Hell, although he hasn't really represented in the stats, so to speak, just sort of that intangible, well, he's good at Hell, so don't give him Hell.
Yeah, pretty much. Band's not reflecting that, though. Sylvanas gets taken out. A lot of people not wanting to deal with Sylvanas. He had so much pressure in lane. Hunbats as well, and then Arachne's going to be taken out. The Assassin Jungler could be played in the solo lane, but traditionally kind of just in the jungle, shredding through people. She's really annoying to deal with.
I love these two bans by Upcoming Stars. They have 100% done their homework. Captain Twig had been playing jungle for Fnatic the entire SPL, and basically up until up right after the SWC. The only two junglers he's ever played in competition, Scott, is Arachne and Thor.
Wow.
So this is going to be the first time that we get to see Captain Twig play something other than those two characters, and Upcoming Stars is going to see if it works.
You know who I wouldn't be surprised to see him grab is actually Nemesis.
Okay.
Nemesis seems to be that jungler that everyone gets at land just to get the jitters out of the way, because Slice and Dice is the size of the map.
Yeah, Slice and Dice is the size of the map, and you actually, no hyperbole here, you can't miss the ultimate. If you do, it just doesn't let you use it.
Yeah, pretty.
So
gets the jitters out of the way.
Exactly. It gets you just acclimated to, like, hey, I'm used to having 800 ping because I'm in Europe and complain about it all the time. Here, we're going to have 0 ping. Let's get used to it. So Nemesis should be interesting. That's a good pick. I'd be interested to see it. Athena going first.
Athena, very, very strong. Option over to Upcoming Stars. They grab Anhur. Anhur recently, actually last week, he had his change made to him throughout the PTS, and the update basically reverted his clear back. Hercules gets picked up as well. Hercules is on an absolute terror this season of the SPL, but most noteworthy in Europe.
Yeah, I mean, Hercules just, he hasn't lost. I mean, that's really the stat. We can all go home. I'm putting my headset away. He hasn't lost a game, Scott.
Yeah.
If you pick Hercules, you win. So, right, and Anhur, not quite the same thing, but if you look at the stats when it comes to KDA and kills per game and stuff, there's a huge separation between Anhur and the rest of the Hunters. So, with those two picks, Upcoming Stars, they have the ball in their court.
Man. xBalanque is going to get picked up. That's going straight to Reels. Reels has been a savage when it comes to playing xBalanque. Granted, it means he's going to be playing a little bit longer for the later game. That's kind of what we're going to see out of Fnatic. In late game, of course, in Smite is like 25 to 30 minutes. But that's when xBalanque will really come online. The synergy with him and Athena will work out pretty well. They'll have a lot of pressure in lane, which will help xBalanque possibly get an early kill as well.
It also works out to sort of his what we're used to seeing out of Reels as Agni gets picked out to round out the first round of picks for Upcoming Stars. xBalanque really fits into that Reels mentality of he doesn't want to start the fight, Scott. You don't see him do well on initiating gods like Cupid. What he does is he pops the ultimate while the team fight's already going on, screws things up for the enemy, and then comes in and hits the balls and gets a quick triple kill with cleanup. So definitely fits right in there for the thought process for the Hunter from the UK.
Aphrodite gets banned out by Upcoming Stars, not trying to give that to Maniac here. Aphrodite starting to get a lot of favor as the SPL goes on, partly because DM preaches it every single day to everyone. But option over to Fnatic here. They're going to go ahead and ban out a Wheelix. Now, my question for you before we get into this next set is Serqet and Captain Twig. Is it going to work?
See, that's a big interesting point to me because there's a lot of things that Captain Twig brings to the table. He's one of the best joust players in the game, so he understands individual matchups well, which is why he worked well in the mid lane. And you know, you take a look at Arachne and Thor; they're not exactly the most mechanically intensive gods, right?
Yeah.
Serqet, on the other hand, is quite the opposite. A Wheelix has been now probably the top most mechanically demanding. Serqet maybe number 2. So it's going to be interesting to see if Serqet works out for Captain Twig. I'm not in a position to doubt the man. He's done very well this season. It's just definitely a diversion from what we're used to seeing out of the mid laner, or jungler now.
Tier's going to go straight to Maniac. Maniac's still loving his warriors in the solo lane. He hasn't adopted the Xayah, Divios, Omega approach. Well, really not even Omega, just the Divios and Xayah approach of, well, let's just throw Guardians in there. Vulcan's going to get locked in as well.
Love it.
That is going to be the mid lane Vulcan. We've seen him in the jungle, we've seen him in the duo, but with this comp, you'd be crazy to say otherwise. Option over to Upcoming Stars. They're looking for support, although Hercules could be their support player as well. Depends on what Qin's going to be doing. We'll be able to find out here very, very quick. And Guan Yu is going to get locked in. So
Still no clear choice as
yeah,
to who's going to be the support. Hercules, we see Trixtang pull him out a lot. Really able to utilize that kit well. I don't know how much Qin has been playing at a top level, or sort of like in this level of scrims and teams and competition. So Guan Yu, I would say, is probably the safer support pick, Scott. You have the heal, you have some really straightforward stuff, whereas Hercules, in order to work Earthbreaker and Driving Strike on 2 different levels, requires a little bit of practice.
Well, you're wrong.
There you go.
I just looked up the program feed and I was like, okay, Sausage.
Got him.
Sausage will be bringing Guan Yu into the solo lane here, which Guan Yu, this might be the first time we've seen him in the solo lane this season.
Yeah, the last time I can recall seeing Guan Yu in the solo lane was Zimpstar filling for solo immediately after Game Hunter quit for what was then Team Solo Mid, now Trig Esports. I think that was the last time we saw a Guan Yu. Of course, excluding the allied Zimpstar show match.
The show match, yeah.
SWC. That was fun, though.
Yeah, and Zimpstar's still a beast.
He
really is still a beast.
I mean, totally don't. I'm very easy to get off on the Zimpstar conversation, but very quickly, I mean, he's a pro Counter-Strike player, a top-level League of Legends player, a top-level Smite player. I mean, I don't really know. Maybe he fails math. I have no idea, but I don't think he does. So it's kind of an uphill battle for anybody else.
Yeah, and he's got the accent, so he's just he's the total package.
You want me to? I can set you up.
He's like a young Brad Pitt. Taking a look at the start here, Maniac and Captain Twig will be starting off. Traditional meta starts for both sides of these teams. We have the early wards. Most noteworthy, though, is Fnatic taking a more defensive approach. You see they have a ward basically right by the Gold Fury and then right by the mid Harpies as we go to a quick timeout.
All right, yeah, so they've got the vision. And they're going to start off, here we go. So Tyr, definitely one of my more favorite characters, just in personal opinion. I think he does bring a lot to the table as far as strategy, and maybe we'll get into that a little bit later as we see it. But Scott, the dude pushes you into a wall and then slaps you in the face. Yeah. It's just cool to watch.
Yeah, he's Fearless is you never realize how much damage Tyr does too until you get caught in one of those. And the best thing about Tyr is that he eats mages for breakfast, but he's going to be going against Guan Yu. Tell me a little bit about this matchup.
Yeah, so the Guan Yu matchup against Tyr is interesting because Tyr doesn't have a way to stop that Tallow Assault. Tallow Assault, while he's spinning that spear weapon thing, he's immune to knockback. So Tyr can't really screw with him in that regard. It's really just a typical solo lane matchup of I clear, you clear. All right.
Captain Twig with a very early rotation as he goes right into the mid lane. Vulcan taking on Agni. Agni known for being one of the most safe gods in the mid lane you can currently play in Smite. Vulcan, on the other hand, not known for mobility. Frosty actually is going to spot him out. Oh. He's going to be able to secure at least one of those Harpies, which will give him a little bit of extra experience there. But yeah, Vulcan versus Agni kind of, especially early on, kind of goes to Agni.
Yeah, Vulcan versus Agni, early on, it really, honestly, it completely depends on how much attention both players will pay to the turret. If we see the mid laner from Fnatic, Zyrhoes, if he starts to level that turret a little more than we're used to seeing, and Agni ignores it or pays attention to it, that variable of the turret, whoever pays attention to it, either killing it or leveling it up, will be a big part of this wave clear and subsequent poke.
Switching into the duo lane here, Anhur and Hercules. They're looking for the kill lane. Almost kind of wanted to see the heavy hammer come out of Anhur on this, right? Just really, really secure it. But there's a lot of eyes on Qin in this lane.
Yeah, Qin, as we mentioned earlier, if you're just joining us for the broadcast, Qin is the very old support for a team that used to be called the same name as Upcoming Stars and is now the support player right now, as we've seen a little swap in the roster. So Cherryo, the previous support player for this team, is in the jungle, and he'll be playing on that Nemesis.
Well, Captain Twig goes in, hands, last breath goes down as well. Turret's going to be there, Meatball comes out, barely off the target there. First blood still has yet to happen. 2 minutes and 40 seconds into the game. 20 seconds until these Harpies come up. Captain Twig thinking about backing, and then he looked up at the timer and said, well, gotta contest these mid Harpies. Athena coming on the rotation as well. Looks like Fnatic's just going to opt to go to the left side of Harpies. Right side will go to Upcoming Stars.
You know what's interesting here, Scott? I really like the smaller plays that we're seeing out of Upcoming Stars. You know, people look at them, they haven't won a game yet, their stats are rather low, but you can tell that it's just because of the competition. As soon as Last Breath came out by that Serqet, immobilizing her, all eyes turned on it. We saw the dash come out from Agni, calculated aggression, being able to put that dot on him. Very, very smart play coming out from Upcoming Stars.
Well, Qin comes in to tag in to help. And now as we take a look, Maniac could have kill potential here if he wants to go in. The heal from Sausage. He has no mana, so Maniac's just going to be able to get some free farm here. Might go for a poke just to kind of be annoying, try to stop him there, but didn't want to take any tower shots.
Yeah, it's always an interesting decision in the solo lane that I like to see when you... Because you're basically allowing your opponent to go back, right?
Yeah.
So the reason Tyr allowed his opponent to back there was because he wanted to back as well. If he stopped that back, that would force his opponent to stay there for another wave, which essentially would force Tyr to stay there for another wave. So it's pretty much just this, do you have permission to go back? Yes, because I want to as well.
Yeah. I'm a big fan. Look at the deviation between the builds between Guan Yu and Tyr. So Tyr's going... I want protections. I want a little bit more health. Rune Forge it is for me. And Sausage is going on Guan Yu. I want boot stun.
Yeah.
I want the power spike. And instead of having protections, which might come back to haunt him, but he won't really have kill potential at all.
Well, here's the thing, Scott. Tyr is sort of forced into the protections because of the nature of Tallow Assault. Tallow Assault, actually, it's one of the few abilities in the game that shreds protection. So this ability right here, as you're seeing him use it on minions, every hit will actually reduce the amount of protections that your target has. So being... against that, you sort of have to build anticipating that. So you build the extra protections because you know they're going to be shredded.
Yeah. It's always weird with Guan Yu, though, because there's that point in the game where no longer does Cavalry Charge matter, really. Like, you're not looking at it for damage. It's more of like you're shepherding the team.
Right.
That's what separates the good Guan Yus.
Yeah, Guan... He's got one of my favorite initiations in the game, honestly. You've got Belly Flop from Bacchus, and Cavalry Charge is just, it catches people by surprise. You don't really know where you can safely go, and then all of a sudden you're stunned. I think it's great, and I love it coming out of the solo lane.
Well, speaking of junglers here, we're going to see Cherryo. He's on Nemesis. Nemesis is going to take a little bit longer to kind of come online. Cherryo known for... this season so far, playing the support role. Haven't really seen much of him out of the jungle besides this game. He's on good pace, though. 3,500. He's only down about 100 gold to Serqet, which is Captain Twig, so he's staying neck and neck with her, and he invested money in beads early.
It's actually interesting seeing Cherryo switch over to the jungle role. I'm very curious to see this, and Qin will throw a wrench in this statement, but Upcoming Stars actually trails the entire league in wards placed. hi-rez places 2 wards on average a game, compared to other hunters who are up by 7 and 8. And Cherryo has been the sort of like light in the darkness. He's really consistent with putting up these wards. So transitioning into the jungle, will he still do that? I'm definitely interested to see how the
Captain Twig looking for it. He's going to get stunned. This is Serqet, so he does have the mobility to get out of this one. He's going to jump and avoid it. Left Harpies will go to Fnatic as well. Right side Maniac delaying Sausage. Sausage was able to pick those up though. 9 apiece here. We still have yet to see a first blood. 6:30.
Yeah, I mean, this is pretty standard for Europe.
It is.
And it's, you know, not to say that Europe is particularly boring, it's just that they're more calculated, specifically Fnatic. We see, it's actually interesting, Scott, we see similar total kill numbers with Fnatic specifically, but in Europe versus North America, it just is delayed a little bit.
Yeah.
Once Fnatic starts, you just can't stop them. It just takes them a while to start up.
Yeah.
It's like an old truck.
Yeah. I love me some old trucks, boy. Vulcan actually going with the CDR build here.
Yep.
Most likely we'll finish Kronos out next unless he feels like he wants to go a little bit more tanky, which will be a Warlock Sash. I personally like it. I feel like, yeah, you just get more meatballs out.
With the CDR?
Yeah, the CDR, I like it. I'm a big proponent of it.
Yeah, I mean, so it's interesting. When it comes to straight DPS, the CDR is actually going to be a little bit worse for you. But I'm with you, Scott. This is not patchwork, as MMO nerds would call it. It's not about straight DPS, and a lot of times, you mentioned Meatball, I look more at Backfire. Backfire is, it's Habwa's water cannon, right? It's a mid-range, huge damage, but it's also movement and escapability. You have that more available to you more often. Sure, it's going to hit for like 50 to 60 less, maybe more, but you'll be able to moonwalk out of danger a lot more often.
Yep. Both dev gloves are finished for the Hunters, as well as tier 2 of the boots. Charges up. Badger looking for the taunt. The taunt comes down. Follow-up will be there from Reels. He dodges the knock-up from Hercules. No kill potential, though, as now hi-rez will back up and just try to wait to heal this one off.
What is that skin? The green Xbalanque skin? It's one of my least favorite recolors in the game.
Yeah?
I hate it, dude. It's
not that bad.
It's green. It's you know what? I historically don't like the green recolors. I don't like green Loki. I don't like green Xbalanque. I just don't like green.
Look at this. They're gonna push. They might be in trouble here. Reels is trying to bait.
Ooh.
Oh, barely dodging that one. Sausage now, or Cherryo, excuse me, forced all the way out using both of his dashes. Still just a farm fest here. Everyone kind of waiting. The next big point will kind of be at around 9:30 when these next Harpies come up here, which so far you got to favor Fnatic for it.
I think that's where we're going to see the fight, as we see a Xbalanque ultimate come out because of the invade. Sausage is going to be no problem, but cavalry charge is down, so that's going to cement your statement in the ground. Those mid Harpies, they won't have that cavalry charge, which is one of Guan Yu's big boons coming out of solo lane. Occasionally we see the solo lane rotations for the mid Harpies on gods that can do it. Guan Yu with cavalry charge is definitely one of the gods that can do it, but it's down now, so he'll be a much
I love
less
this play. Fnatic, they lose their speed buff, so Captain Twig goes, you know what, I'm going to go for theirs. He's got help from Maniac. Will Lawbringer come out here? It comes down. Ultimate's there. First blood to Maniac. He's going to get knocked away. Qin looking for the knock up.
Nice.
Maniac goes right back into him, knowing the matchup very, very well. And now he's going to turn and try to put a little bit extra damage on him. Meanwhile, Harpies come up. Fnatic is in full control of both. Fnatic with their first real lead throughout this game.
Yeah, so I mean, beautiful play by Tier over there, played by Maniac to really avoid that flip by Hercules, as you said. Scott really understands the matchup, but not only does he understand the matchup, he understands the geography of the map. If I fight you here, you can't pass me. You shall not pass and go hurt my Serqet, who's getting the mid Harpy. So
God, was Lord of the Rings good. So much better than The Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
God.
Hobbit was a great book.
Great book.
Great book. Did not translate.
298 pages of awesome.
The opposite of Fight Club in Jurassic Park.
Purple buff going to Captain Twig here. Yeah, that's actually very true. Everything you just said.
Hashtag SPL.
Yep, hashtag SPL.
Oh, I'm just trying to get the giveaway in chat.
Oh, nice. Good for you. Good for you.
Hunter matchup right here in the left-hand lane. They're going to be joined by the supports. So Anhur versus Xbalanque. Really cut and dry. Not a lot of deep-level analysis here, Scott. Anhur's got clear. Shibby doesn't. But Shibby should hurt more late game.
He should. Theoretically, he should. But also on the other side, hi-rez really needs to be aggressing. He has to be abusing the advantage he has. I mean, he has full wave clear, and really he's kind of been losing that push battle.
I mean, this is a character that we've seen in Smite forever. So the how to play, I never want to say is done, right? You can always figure out new things in the game, but the sort of like standard Anhur play has been cemented since the days of Zapman at PAX. You're Anhur, you jump in at level 2 and you impale. And you just play aggressive the entire time, because shifting sands gives geometry bonuses to you guys and damage bonus if you're in the sands. Super clear, and you have CC on all of your abilities. Why not be aggressive? So definitely something hi-rez wants to look more for.
Upcoming stars starting to push in. The vision battle is going to them, as Hercules is going to be able to clear out a ward there on the Gold Fury, trying to bait this fight. Zyrhoes, he's right beside Captain Twig and Badger. They're going to stop this from happening, and upcoming stars waste no time. And then the Sentry Ward is dropped, and now they have vision control. The question is if this gets started up, is Maniac going to rotate?
To the Gold Fury? I don't think so, because of the fact that thought mid lane aggression. Athena's going to save the life of Serqet. Good play right there. You know, that Athena, it doesn't seem like it saved her life, but the deterrent of the Athena ult just forced upcoming stars off of that. So good play, good thought process coming out from Fnatic.
Couple seconds here, and another spawn of the Harpies will be coming up. Zyrhoes with a nice poke on Qin, forcing Hercules completely out. It's okay, guys. He's got mitigate wounds, though. So yeah, he'll be able to fight. Right side, though, Sausage. Maniac waiting. He's in his defensive stance right now, looking to switch. Just going to get that final heal off there. as he just keeps poking him out.
Zero.
Gold Fury might potentially be started up here.
What
Left
is
Harpy.
he doing?
Is he going? No. I think he's just shoving. Gold Fury, though.
He's keeping Guan Yu on the right-hand side
Gold Fury's
of the
up.
map because of this Gold Fury.
Gold Fury's up. The blink of Qin already burned down. Qin thought they were going to continue on it, so the blink is down. Prioritizing, they throw down the Sentry Ward, clear out Fnatic Sentry Ward, and now they're going to try to start this one up. Shifting Sands really helping them out here. Badja, he throws it down. Zyrhoes needs to rotate and help. Reels is here as well. xBalanque ultimate comes down. Looking for it. Cherryo dodges it. Qin gets hit. And now hi-rez still alive. There hasn't been the follow-up. The turret actually doing the most damage so far, as now Serqet, last breath down. Agni could be in trouble. Agni's going to make her pay. Frostie with the big kill.
What a turnaround coming out from Frostie. Beautiful stuff in the mid lane, but here is the turnaround from the solo lane. This is why Sausage wanted to move and Maniac wouldn't let him. That cavalry charge so incredible in that corridor, getting the stun. But upcoming stars are actually going to come up on top of this one. Fnatic not slowing down. Here comes Tyr, here comes Athena, and here comes Reels. The three of them in blue looking for the enemy team. Shield wall's down, taunt is on cooldown. None there right now, but a beautiful stun from the Agni in the middle lane, whose noxious fumes have been on point the entire game. Prevents the aggression, and upcoming stars gets away scot-free.
Now, the gold difference is very little. It's 438. Qin might get aggressive on the taunt's going to hit as well. There's the Fearless Maniac, clears him up. That's a big kill as well. Experience still in favor of Fnatic. That'll probably put him up to about 2,800. Zyrhoes pushing the mid lane. All of a sudden, Sausage now is stuck looking at Maniac again, but this time in the exact opposite lane.
That was a beautiful play by Fnatic to push them out, and upcoming stars just...
Oh, that's another taunt. That's another Fearless. Maniac, he's got to be on it. He doesn't have the follow-up. His teammates didn't commit, but it's okay. He's Tyr. He's got plenty of health to handle this.
Yeah, Fnatic being very, very careful. They don't want to bite off more than they can chew, and they shouldn't. They had a brilliant aggressive play on that Gold Fury, and upcoming stars handled it perfectly. So Fnatic understands that. And look, you have 6 losses and 0 wins, but I still have to respect you because of what you're able to do. You proved it to me this match, so I'm not going to be able to just dive you. Good calculated aggression coming out from Fnatic, but better defense from the stars.
That's going to give them a big advantage as well, just stealing that purple buff here. We've yet to see a kill come down on xBalanque here. Ultimate comes down. hi-rez is going to aggress. Reels now forced all the way out. Captain Twig was able to take the tier 1 tower in the solo lane. Reels will be able to heal this up very, very fast because Dev gloves are awesome.
I'm going to give my deepest part of analysis.
Okay.
Tyr is badass. Those pushes are just so cool.
I know, man.
You line people up, you shove them against the wall. Tyr has, it's actually really interesting as we see a little bit of aggression from the two hunters.
He's going.
Athena's coming down too. That's going to land and take off a bunch of the health. Beautiful ultimate from hi-rez. The ultimate provided CC reduction, so he couldn't get taunted.
Yep, Qin now looking, waiting for the pull to come up. It's up. He has it, and they're actually going to stop moving forward here. Gold Fury isn't up. So now they're just going to go back into lanes. Mid Harpies on the left side are up, though. We might see continued fight here as Maniac will be making his way there. Frostie, he spotted him there, but Badger could be in a little bit of trouble. Sausage coming in. Cherryo doesn't get it down on him. Badger will be able to live. What an incredible rotation out of Badger these days. I remember all Season 1, all we talked about is Badger gets caught rotating every time at 3 minutes.
Every single time. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, Badger dies on get.
No longer is that the case.
And, you know, Fnatic has really been one of the most improved teams in my mind, because of 2 reasons. Because of exactly what you brought up. The rotations from Badger used to be very predictable, used to take the same routes and inevitably die because of it. That's been fixed in Maniac. Maniac's god pool was Chunga, Aphrodite. And then one day he came to a land and surprised everybody and played Bakasura and destroyed. And since then, he has been Divios light. Yeah. Give me whatever and I will play whatever.
Yep. It's big. It's really important. So, Wingblade coming out for him as well. Not going to deal with any of the slows coming out from upcoming stars, and as well as help him out with cooldown, as well as, you know, just overall awesomeness.
Interesting point here. I don't think it's as we... Ooh, good gank in the right hand. Nope. We're going to be okay. Interesting point here, Scott. It's not Qin. Qin hasn't been doing poorly, but he's not the reason. Upcoming stars are having one of their best games the entire season.
Yeah.
Their individual play has been on point. Frosty has really been my takeaway. They haven't been aggressive, and that's probably because, you know, bottom of the league versus Fnatic, very big. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. But their defense has been completely. They're really showing their prowess.
Forced driving strike out here. The rotation from Maniac alone. Now they're just going to rotate around. There's absolutely nothing on the map for anyone to take at all, besides creeps. That's it.
Yep.
Not even back harpies are up. Gold Fury will be up in about 35 seconds. Taking a look at the builds here, Hunter is a little bit of difference here. Real's going with the Ichable, showing that he is going to box, whereas Anhur, a.k.a. hi-rez, going with the Executioner first.
Yep, interesting. Love what you said. It's all about the boxing for Reals. He wants to fight you. And Anhur, the Executioner, is pretty much just a second Anhur passive. So Executioner works very, very well on Anhur specifically. But because of that Iqbal on his opponent, he might want to pick that up as well to sort of balance it out.
Yeah. He's probably going with the old standard, the Season 1 build. The Executioner into crit, and then call it a day. Captain Twig going invisible, jumping over. Just poking here. Gold Fury's up. This is the next point. 19 minutes into the game. It's only 2-1.
Wow.
The gold is 1,000. Agni Bomb comes down to poke. Captain Twig forced to zigzag his way out of that one. As now, finally, Maniac is going to be rotating. He's my player to watch here in this one. He was the guy who did everything in this last engagement. Vulcan's going to be next to him as well. He's going to get stunned out there, but it's only going to do about a quarter of his health. So he should be okay. All he has to do is switch stance to defensive. He'll heal that up real quick.
Aggression coming out for the mid Harpies. 19 minutes in, Scott. These Harpies are still important, but they're not super important. It's sort of like picking up paper towels versus paying your rent, right?
Okay.
You want to clean up,
that's a stretch.
but you're going to get kicked out if you don't pay your rent. So you need those 3, 6, 9 Harpies, but once you reach 19 minutes, you still want them, but
that was
it's
a
not going to
stretch.
break the game.
I'm not sure I'm sold on that one. Oh, Captain Twig's going to get knocked up. The taunt's going to save him as well. hi-rez forced one out. Maniac looking for it. He's just going to go ahead and run through everyone. And now the Gold Fury has been started up. Zyrhoes comes as well. Captain Twig going to be a little bit late to this party. Gold Fury is going to go ahead and get reset.
They're playing so timid, Scott.
Yeah. Frosty wasn't in that battle.
Yep.
He actually rotated out of that one to eat up some farm because he lost his Tier 1 tower. He didn't want it shoved all the way up.
You know, after thinking about it, I really liked my analogy. I just don't believe you buy paper towels. Are you just a mess?
No. I'm actually very clean. I just... Oh, the stun comes out as well. Meatball barely off the target. Maniac, he's not going to continue to pursue that one. But no, I just don't get it.
Yeah?
Paper towels, right? Like, and rent.
It was... All right, you know, it was a stretch, okay?
It was a stretch. As long as you're on the same page with me.
It was a huge stretch.
As long as you're on the same page. Take a look at Ward's placed here. Hercules and Guan Yu lead the way. That's for upcoming stars. Next highest is going to be 8 out of Athena, and then Serqet. And then, wow, look at that.
Yep.
Anhur with 4.
Yep.
I'll be damned.
hi-rez. That's...
Yeah?
I think that's more wards than he's placed his previous 6 games. He usually averages about 2 or 3. Great blink driving strike. Isn't enough, though. It's not going to be. Rising Jaguar plus the
They're in trouble. They're in a lot of trouble. Athena talk comes in as well. Captain Twig looking for it here. He's waiting on the jump. He's just going for it, and now he's forced to change the targets. The comms have been changed. Zyrhoes is going to get taken out by Agni pretty much. The juggle comes out from the Fearless. There's Media picking up 1. Still going forward. Reels forced to jump away. Zyrhoes now watching the horse continue to run. Reels turns on Sausage. Captain Twig picks up 1. Maniac is not done. Still going forward. Vulcan ultimate comes in. He can do it. The Nemesis shield. There's no stun though. Maniac force. He's going to be able to get the heal up off of Sausage, and now they will be able to win this fight. They have the aggression as well. Gold Fury will be their next point of focus.
All about the stuff after the stuff, as I always say. Great play coming out from Fnatic. Honestly, it was a beautiful counter gank. Upcoming stars, for the first time this game, did not play timidly. They said, look, we have the opportunity, let's go for it, but Fnatic was just ready on all accounts. They had the Athena ult and everything. You know, if upcoming stars wanted to do that, I commend their play. I like it. Next time, you got to make sure that Athena ult is on cooldown, because with that single ultimate, the entire fight turned around. So credit to Badger and Fnatic for the heads-up play. Upcoming stars has to make sure that's on cooldown the next time they go for that.
Captain Twig barely missing the mez there, the madness, if you will. You know, the one thing I noticed in that fight is Fnatic was caught not completely off guard, but you can tell that their communication and their priorities are very, very good. We got to see that third-person camera shot that entire time, and you can see the priorities change the entire time. So the peel was there, which is very, very good. You have two frontliners in a Tier and an Athena, so really, Reels is extremely safe. So is Zyrhoes.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned it perfectly when, as soon as he switched to Guan Yu, Reels just dialed it in right there. And that's pretty much what Fnatic was doing well. We see a good Fearless just target switching, target swapping. They understand that having 4 people at half health is a lot worse than having 2 people dead.
Yeah. Dude, he's got 8,000 more player damage than the next highest. And we're talking about a Vulcan. Vulcan gets free damage with that turret. And but that's solo laners. It just really Guan Yu he's doing a third of the damage that Tier is doing so far in this game. And that's why Maniac, every time we won into the Smite World Championship, we were like, dude, how is it going to stack up, right? Like, how is he going to go against Divios?
I mean, Tier, Maniac's Tier is one of the more premier tiers in the league. It's interesting. Tier has been for a long time was looked at as horrible after his nerfs to damage, and nobody really liked him, and there hasn't been a change, but we've just seen an increase in play. And there are some players that can play him well, like Maniac and Divios to a certain extent, and some players just can't. But I think Maniac is the takeaway Tier these days, really just pulling out everything. What I notice a lot, and why I say that, is because he gets multiple Fearlesses often. Want 2 or 3 people in a single Fearless? Maniac's your guy.
Yeah. Improved shell coming out here for Athena here, which will go into a shell of absorption, one of the most underrated actives in the game, giving everyone a bajillion protections. Taunt barely going to miss on Sausage. Not sure if they had the DPS to take him out there, as Zyrhoes will be able to connect with the Meatball versus Frostie. Frostie, all things told, he's been in a good position. He's been able to hit the big stuns, but hasn't been able to deliver the big kills, minus the 1 on Serqet very early on.
Yeah, very, very low kill count for upcoming stars with just a single, as you mentioned, against Serqet. Honestly, where your 1 kill wants to be is on that Serqet, so good decision making.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that said, I mean, they were only trailing by 3 against Fnatic, so and those 3 really came in that one fight on the left-hand side. So it's been a very quiet game with few explosions here, 25.5 minutes in. 4-1 read the kills, folks, and Fnatic a little bit ahead.
Yep. So looking at it here, Serqet finally has the Deathbringer online, 25 minutes into the game. Captain Twig is going to be your player to watch going into this next engagement. His job will be to jump on either Agni or Anhur and bring him from 100 health all the way down to 0 in 3 moves. Once that happens, the entire team will have enough peel to just do whatever they want. Right now, Captain Twig can pretty much take on anyone with no problem.
Yeah, that Deathbringer is going to help a lot. Basically what happens is that zigzag move you see coming out from the Serqet a lot is Deathbane. And what happens is it has a chance to crit. Frankly, it crits a lot, as you see right there. And the Deathbringer is just going to increase the damage from that crit. So he's going to look a lot before it was about the madness into damage from himself and his teammates. Now it's the other way around. It's the damage from him into the madness control. Definitely now he's in the driver's seat.
15 more stacks on that Warlock Sash, and we will see Zyrhoes just be a full tanky and damage beast. He has Obsidian Charm coming out next. Now, that's the one thing that's a little bit interesting about Warlock Sash at a competitive level. Yeah, it's a great item, and we always see, we see stealth builded on every single god, no matter what, because he's in people's face. It's just with all those rotations, it's like 10 minutes to get the damn thing stacked. See, like us, our level, like I'm like 5 minutes, I'm good. But if I gotta rotate to Gold Furies, it ain't happening.
Yeah, it's 100 stacks. Most of the items only stack up to 50 or 60, especially when you see in the Hunter stacks. But mid lane definitely a little bit different. Fight's gonna start. Ultimate out from Xbalanque, but it was a little early right now.
No!
Fearless. No! Hercules gets the kill with the boulder. That's one on the side of the support.
Oh, Badger, get out of there, buddy. The poke coming out from Zyrhoes. Xbalanque now, he goes, okay, everyone's over there, I'm going to start up the Gold Fury. No, he rotates back. The comms have changed. hi-rez, Desert Fury. Cherryo is able to get the 1. This could be Fire Giant here. They're going to start it up. Athena's still alive. Badge is there. Hand of the Gods is available. Yes, it is. Hand 3 is available for Badger. Badger has a chance to steal this. Reels is here as well. He's going to get forced out by Frosty, really waiting for his teammates to get here as well. Maniac's here. They have the burst. Lawbringer comes in. Barely misses the Fearless on Sausage.
Oh.
Fire Giant doing a lot. He turns. Fnatic nails the Fire Giant.
That's a double kill. Scratch that. That's a triple kill.
No.
For the hunter out of the UK. And the Portuguese powerhouse Maniac picks up the fourth. The only one alive is the support. Maniac has turned around. He don't need that. Him and his jungle both have the Fire Giant buff. Scott.
Wow. That's called swinging for the fences. If you've seen the movie Signs, you swing for the damn fences. Reels is like, all right, look, I have my two frontliners. I have Tyr, I have Athena. There's taunts, there's Fearlesses. I'm going in. My man goes straight in there, no care at all. Pop sprint 3, gas pedal, destruction.
Gas pedal is putting it lightly. He turned on the after thrusters, just ran in, got that triple kill. You know, that's a situation where it's okay if you die. It's okay if you die.
That's nuts. Absolutely nuts. Captain Twig now looking at Qin. They're going to be able to shred through this. Now, unfortunately, only Tyr has the Fire Giant buff, but it's okay. Tyr's not the worst person to have only the Fire Giant buff. Gold Fury's going to be stolen here, and by stolen, I mean taken by Fnatic. They will have no worries at all from upcoming stars.
Scott, you know,
I know.
I hurt because that was a beautiful, again, this is the best game Stars have played all season. The kill, we finally saw the aggression coming out from Anhur to kill the players to allow them to get the Fire Giant. We saw a perfect Guan Yu ultimate to stun and kill the support. But it just didn't matter because Reels started screaming and left clicking and killing everyone. That's the type of thing where, yes, upcoming Stars did exactly, they did the textbook correctly, and then Reels came halfway through class, slept through the first half, and just killed it on the test, getting 100 and screwing everybody's curve up. It just happens sometimes. You got to watch out for the star factor.
Well, if upcoming Stars had a problem dealing with Maniac before, they're going to have a nightmare dealing with him now. Bulwark is finished, giving him an additional 450 health.
Wow.
God!
That's a lot of health.
He's 4-0-3. Reels getting his first 3 kills in that last engagement here. Maniac can really, he can look and just say, hey, man, you guys want to all 5 go against me? Sure, whatever. He has no problem. Magi's Blessing's only going to be out here on Nemesis.
Yep.
Throughout the entire thing. Finally, an aura item's going to get picked up for Hercules as well, which is going to be Heart Ward Amulet. You kind of expect to see more Magi's Blessings going against a Tyr.
You have to. You absolutely have to. And that's probably the big takeaway with upcoming Stars.
Really? Lawbringer comes in. He's on the back line. Maniac looking for it. More up close, though. Cherryo's going to get pushed in. Last Breath's going to be there as well. Here comes Vulcan. Vulcan's able to get one. Sausage now. He's going to try to run away. Captain Twig says, oh, yeah, by the way, I'm here. Badger gets the stun. Reels gets another kill. Still going forward here. It's a 5-on-2. Their eye has turned to the Phoenix. Oh, wait, they can't get that because the tower's still up.
Hey, Scott. Hey, Scott, how do you spell Oh, there we go. There we go. That's what I'm talking about, Scott. The taunt. There's no reason for Tyr to attack a tower. So what did he do? He just taunts. You gotta show your swag a little bit. Maniac definitely.
Speaking of taunts, Qin's just gonna get locked up here. Matter of seconds before he gets taken down. Captain Twig gets that one. Now they say, well, we could go for this. Lawbringer comes down here on the Titan as well. Still just shredding through this one.
Oh, that's it.
Turret's down as well. This is going to be GG. Fnatic beats upcoming Stars in game 1. But keep in mind, it is a best 2 out of 3 here. Upcoming Stars, all things told, they did play one very, very good game.
I am almost upset. That was just extremely well played by upcoming Stars. And, you know, that's not really what they've been known for. No. They've made a lot of obvious mistakes this season where, you know, us up here in the booth as Jeff and that's why they lost. Yeah. It's because, and we can't say that this game. They really did what they were supposed to do. We saw a lot of textbook plays. Unfortunately, just did not go their way this time.
Yep, so the game started off a little bit slow here, but nonetheless, let's take a look at this first blood, see what happened at the beginning of the game. It was a little bit later into the game, as you can tell by the game clock, but at the end of the day, it was Maniac getting that first blood, showing why Tyr is dominant throughout the entire time, and that right there was the best part about that. So he moves forward, avoiding the knock-up from Hercules, who would then hit him with the driving strike that goes into the wall, where he would be stunned for a second. He avoids all of it. It was a perfect moment for Maniac.
Maniac definitely able to dance the dance and do what he does. And you know, one of the other things that came off of that was because he fought him where those two characters fought, they weren't able to get the mid heartbeat camps and just really cemented their map control. Let's take a look at the map right now and see just how much that rippled throughout the rest of the match.
Holy moly! 93% mid camp control for Fnatic. Yep. Upcoming stars. Ouch, kabibbles. That is 93%. We saw 100% last weekend with Cloud9, but 93% still is very impressive. They only lost one Gold Fury. They were 1 for 1 on the Fire Giants here. But, you know, they actually did lose their first speed, or that second speed. We saw the invade come out of Sausage, which was a very, very good play from him, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, definitely very, very interesting stuff. Just because they weren't able to, as you said, they weren't able to do enough. They did just a little bit, and it looked nice.
It did.
But they weren't able to go the next step. They weren't able to bring that star power that we saw out of Fnatic, specifically out of the solo lane. Maniac is going to be our player of the game, playing that tier very, very well. 505, that's got to be an area code.
Probably.
Iowa. I randomly picked Iowa, just like saying it.
Oh, God, I hate you.
But just like Iowa, here comes Maniac like a tractor ready to mow down the competition 5 times in a row.
Yeah, you're dead to me. Oh, man. This is really what started it off. So in the last series, he just gets the first blood. This is the only kill that happens. And then he's just going to see a Fearless. It's a juggle. He takes him out. And then the pressure just has never stopped throughout all that. It was just Fearlesses and the power cleaves. His sustain was very good as well. Using the teleport, rotating all the way around, which actually is very important because I actually just noticed that now.
Yeah.
So Tyr, due to the ability of having teleport, was able to get into this team fight. Has some good peel there. He gets hit by the Nemesis ult, still alive, switching the targets. Lawbringer comes out, and you can just tell the entire time that Fnatic is all working together, changing their priorities very, very well.
Yeah, it's the exact fight you were talking about right there that we got to take a look at. And, you know, one of the things that I like about this is if that slash line was 0-5-5, I still would have picked him as player of the game because he sort of picked up those kills as haphazardly. He was really there to corral and as you said, just peel and provide pressure rather than the damage. Sometimes the kills just come.
Yeah, that's the beauty of Tyr. He's kind of like a guardian in the solo lane as well, which is what we're seeing a lot out of North America. But before we hop into the break, make sure you tweet at Smite Pro. Let us know who you think will be winning this game number 2. Will upcoming stars put up a fight, or will Fnatic close it out 2-0? Find out right after this.
That's kind of stats.